Hey you all, welcome to another episode of Screen University. I am Deepak Karamgikar and today I am going to talk about my favorite 6 films with a twist. These are obviously there are many more, but I'm only limiting it to 6. And thing to note is that I did not consider Fight Club or Sixth Sense or any blockbuster, very famous, well-known films. These are slightly lesser known films which deserve our attention because the film is a film. And yesterday, IMDb on Twitter they posed the question: What is your favorite plot twist in a horror movie? So I could think of one first and most important film, which is Orphan, made in 2009. I think it has one of the greatest twists that I've ever seen at the end. So the story follows a couple who just lose their third child at the time of delivery, and they are struggling to come to terms with the loss. And during that time, they adopt a Russian girl named Esther. Now, what happens after that forms the rest of the story. I do not want to be revealing any plot here, but the twist is something that you will have to see to believe it. It's still uh, it haunts me. The kind of impact that climax has had is just mind blowing. I remember watching it alone at night, and I was flabbergasted. It was just amazing. Immediately watch this film if you haven't. So the second film that you should watch is called Goodnight Mommy. It's made in 2014. And, it's an Austrian film. It's available on Amazon Prime. And the plot is that a mother of two twin children, twin boys, comes back from a horrible accident and she has her entire face bandaged. So these two kids, they are living in a house which is secluded from the rest of the city, and these two boys feel that their mother is behaving strangely, and that's how the story goes. Okay, I will not tell you anything. This has an epic twist. Just watch it. So the next film that you should watch is this 2003 film called Identity. Now Identity has one of the most mind-blowing twists that I have ever seen. All these are mind blowing, but this is slightly different. It is different because it is this movie is in a who done it style. Who done it style, if you don't get it right, it will be a very boring film. I can give you many examples which will anger people, but still. Anyway, so coming to the plot, this movie follows a reverse chronological order of narration. That means that events which happened first are shown later, and events which happened later are shown first. So that also adds a lot of thrill to the screenplay. Now, the best part is that it has limited number of characters and limited locations. So this is something that you should actually watch and experience it for yourself. This film is directed by James Mangold, who recently made Ford versus Ferrari, which won 2 Oscars for the 2019 year. Alright, so yes, watch this film. So the next film on my list is called The Illusionist. There are three things that are very critical here. Illusionist has a brilliant star cast. It has Edward Norton, it has Paul Giamatti and Jessica Biel. So Paul Giamatti, I think, is one of the greatest actors of our times, and he has played the role of Chief Inspector here. And this film is based on magic. It's about a magician known as Eisenheim, who falls in love with a woman who is of a very high social status. So it's a period film, so social status means a lot of things in those days. Now also it means a lot of things, but it's a period drama. And the most interesting thing is that it released in the same year as Prestige, which is also a magic-based film by Christopher Nolan. And both these films went on to become super hits. In fact, I think this one collected 90 million or something. So this is a brilliant film, and the twist that comes at the end is just mind-boggling. You will not believe what you see. So, and the way they revealed it is also was amazing, just too good. Just watch this film. So the next film on my list is called Drag Me to Hell. Drag Me to Hell is directed by Sam Raimi. Now, if you know Sam Raimi for the Spider-Man films, it means that you are a part of the problem. No, just kidding. It means that you are too young, because Sam Raimi is most known for Evil Dead. Evil Dead is a cult classic horror film which is probably the most watched horror film in India on VCPs and VCRs, which were rented in the 80s and 90s. Anyway, coming to this film is about a loan officer who, in order to impress her boss, uh, fails to extend the mortgage on a elderly woman who is her customer, and that elderly woman turns out to be someone with magical powers, and she imposes a curse on this person. And how that movie ends is one of the most mind-blowing twists that I've ever seen. This is a pakka horror film, masala horror film, where twists are expected in a horror film. There is no doubt about it. But the way they ended it is just classic. Okay, just watch this film. I love this film. You also should watch it. So the next film on my list is called Life. It was made in 2017 and directed by Daniel Espinosa, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, Ryan Reynolds, and some others. So this story is about 6 people who are on an international space station in charge of a life form that was just found on Mars. So obviously, as expected, this life forms goes crazy and starts creating trouble, but everything goes well until the climax. Now, in the climax, the kind of twist that they have shown is just mind blowing. Okay, you have to see it to believe it. I was just like, wow, what the fuck is going on? So watch this film. It's a great film. I don't know what is wrong with Jake Gyllenhaal's films. All the good ones get buried under 6.5 ratings. This easily deserves like a 7.5 or 7.8 or something. I don't know. My tastes are different. I always focus on the content rather than rating. So this is a hidden gem. You should watch this film. So that's my list of 6 films. See you again. Bye bye.